How's it going, everybody? Brother Kimo here from Reload Hawaii. Thank you for watching another video. If it's your first time stopping in, please consider subscribing to my channel by clicking that subscribe button down at the bottom. And don't forget to click that little bell on the side so you can get notifications to when I post a new video. Today, we're talking about living alone with gout. For anybody that wants to see the last video I did about gout, talked about what it is, how this is relevant, how it looks like when it gets into your joints, I'll leave a link for that video right up here in the corner so you guys can check that out. But today I really wanted to focus on how horrible it is to live with gout alone, let alone live with it at all. The very simple things you take for granted, like going to the bathroom, is just horrific. And you can't even really go out and go shopping for foods that are going to be more healthy for you to eat once you have this going on in your joints. So let me take you back to my first acute breakout. Of course, it was early in the morning when I got up. The uric crystals like to find areas of very low blood flow, like joints, and they start to form that ball that I showed you, and it's very painful to walk around on. So I called my doctors, and the nurse said, hey, take your time. It's going to take you a while to get around if you can't even put any pressure on it. And I was wondering what she was talking about, and as soon as I got off the phone, I realized that I had to find a way to get dressed without trying to hurt myself, get from my apartment up top down into the elevator, across to my car in the parking garage, and drive when I couldn't bend my ankle at all. What should have taken me 20-30 minutes ended up taking me almost 2 hours. And that's why living alone with gout can be, a very scary and debilitating thing if you don't know and you're not prepared for it. So it's very frustrating for people with gout when they hear people that don't know about gout say something like, hey, why don't you just put a brace on it? I can tell you that it's not like a broken bone. Once it breaks, you can't just set it and put it into place. It's not like a sprained ankle where you can just isolate whatever is sprained so that it doesn't move around. Because of that spiky ball, any type of pressure that you put on that joint causes extreme pain and is extremely debilitating. You can't move around any. So the last video we talked a little bit about prevention and taking the medication for this. But what about when you are having an acute breakout? What are the things that you have to have ready when that happens? This is what I think. You got to treat gout like you're preparing for a natural disaster, right? You just have your things on hand that are going to be ready when it sneaks up on you. Because let's face it, it's going to come. Whether you control it, whether you don't control it, it's going to show up, and you better be ready for it, because it is, like I said, extremely painful, and that makes it extremely debilitating. You cannot move around. So the first thing I recommend is, just like when you prepare for a hurricane or a natural disaster, is have the foods on hand that are going to lower your uric acid levels, or at least don't increase it. So, have your eggs or whatever it is on the list of things that your doctor says you can or can't eat, because you won't be able to go out and drive and go to the grocery store and walk around and get those things. So just have them ready in a pantry. Like on this side of my kitchen, I have that ready for me. I got some black cherry extract, I got some juice there that I can drink. So all of those things I have ready. So be prepared, just like a natural disaster, have those foods ready. The second thing is, have your mode of transportation ready. Anything that can lessen that pain. So if you have it in your hands, you're not so bad. But if you have it in your ankles or your toes, have crutches available. Have that thing that people use when they have like a sprained ankle with the one wheel, so they can put their knee on top of it, so you don't have any type of pressure on that joint. And as ridiculous as it sounds, I actually just have a plastic lawn chair that I'm using. So I use it like a walker, and the stuff that I need I put on the chair and I walk around with it. And as pathetic as that sounds, at that point, you're not going to care. The only thing you're going to care about is getting into position so that you can go around and use the bathroom and go to the refrigerator or cook your own meals without experiencing any pain. So get those things ready so you can be mobile when you have that acute breakout. The last tip I have, and I think it's the most important, is to make sure that you are protected and shielded from your workplace's attendance policies. You're going to be missing at least 3 days up to 2 weeks, depending on how bad the acute breakout is. And you want to make sure that you don't lose your job. And how do you do that? You file for FMLA, which stands for Family Medical Leave Act. You're protected. Gout is protected. So let's say you're missing that time because you filed your FMLA paperwork. Those absences will not count against you, and you can keep your job. It's a good thing. And the way that works is your doctor's probably going to recommend, depending on your condition, an intermittent FMLA. You'll report that to your workplace every time you're having an acute breakout, and that will shield you from those absences and the policies that can make you lose your job. Well guys, that's the ending of this video. I hope you found it useful. Please share it as much as possible, especially for anyone that has gout. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And as always, I'll catch you guys later.